No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of AEW Dynamite for Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. Now, there's currently a thunderstorm going on outside. There's been lightning, thunder going on for hours. Hopefully, the stream does not go out. So, just throwing that out there. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. I very much appreciate it. Now, let's get into this Dynamite. We were coming off Blood and Guts last week. Next week is episode 200 of Dynamite. And don't forget, we got not one, but two major shows coming up. We have All Out, of course, in Chicago. We also have All In at Wembley Stadium, London, England. 75,000 people expected for this event. What did AEW do to set up these shows? Well, let's get into it. We kicked off the show with Orange Cassidy because 9 times out of 10 in 2023, OC is opening the show. This time he was defending his international championship against AR Fox. And Darby Allin narrated this video package about AR Fox putting him over, but did not work for me, at least. I just do not care about AR Fox, and I did not think for a second that he had any chance whatsoever of winning this match. Now, Orange Cassidy did his usual routine, the hands in the pockets. Fox did get in some offense, stunner out of the corner, twisted brainbuster, which of course Orange Cassidy kicked out of, and the crowd immediately started chanting, "This is awesome." And I'm thinking, I mean, it was good, but come on now. I think you guys are being a little bit too generous with your "this is awesome" chant. They traded some big boots after the commercial break. Fox came off the top with a swanton. Orange Cassidy kicked out of that. Orange made his comeback. Beach break. AR Fox kicked out of that, but Orange was eventually able to get the win with the mousetrap pinfall. And then afterwards, he gave AR Fox some props. He shook his hand and he put the sunglasses on AR Fox, and AR Fox snapped. He snapped the glasses and he snapped on Orange Cassidy. He beat him up. He seemed to be a bit perplexed at what he had done. And then Darby Allin came down, yelled at AR Fox, said it was very embarrassing what AR Fox did. And then they left. John Moxley showed up. Moxley attacked Orange Cassidy and laid him out with the Death Rider. I must have missed something. Why is Moxley targeting Orange Cassidy? Somebody let me know what I missed with that. I know Moxley was pissed off about losing Blood and Guts. Maybe that's why. Maybe something happened on Rampage that I missed. I know the main event involved the best friends in the Blackpool Combat Club. But I just don't really care about Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. They're going to do this match. This is the follow-up to Blood and Guts. Moxley's going to feud with Orange Cassidy now. Not really feeling it at this stage. The match itself was fine, and the heel turn, I think that I actually sympathize with AR Fox a little bit. Like, Orange Cassidy's there putting the sunglasses on him, and I'm like, you're kind of making the guy look like a fool. I actually sympathize with AR Fox in this instant. I would beat up Orange Cassidy too if he beat me and then he puts the sunglasses on me. Apparently, Orange Cassidy attacked Moxley on the Ring of Honor pay-per-view last Friday. Oh, well, again, it would help if I actually knew what was going on here, and maybe I should know. It's supposed to be my job, right? I should be knowing every single thing that happens on every single show ever. Anyways, let's move on here. We'll talk more about Moxley and Orange Cassidy in just a few moments. We had a video package of the Blood and Guts match from last week, and then we had Renee Paquette interviewing Chris Jericho and Don Callis, and Don Callis proposed a match for next week. Jericho and Takeshita versus Danny Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Jericho was not exactly thrilled about doing it, but said he would. And then Callis gave Jericho a painting of them with Bad News Brown, Bad News Allen on it. I'm not really that invested in this. Like, is Jericho going heel even though he's already a heel? I'm really confused about how I'm supposed to feel about all this. Like, Jericho is a heel already. Why would I be upset about him going with Don Callis? And I really don't care about the Jericho Appreciation Society. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to feel about all this. So it's like I tend to not really care that much. Like, Jericho, I really think he needs some kind of overhaul at this point. I mean, maybe breaking away from the Jericho Appreciation Society would be a good idea, because Jericho, the guy has reinvented himself so many times, but in AEW, he's been coming out there to Judas for 4 years now. And I feel like, I don't know if it's maybe time for Jericho to wrap up his run in AEW, but what else is there for him to do? He was the world champion, which was great. He was a great first champion, but I'm not really sure what else he does at this point. And by the way, my condolences to Michael Wayne. I'm very sorry to hear that. We had a brief clip of Hook. He was sitting in a subway, I presume in the Bronx or wherever he's from. And then we had Claudio and Wheeler Yuta cutting a promo saying that you don't mess with the BCC. And then Jon Moxley appeared on camera and told people to stay in their lane and issued a warning to the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy and so on and so forth. We had Jack Perry come into the ring with his Beethoven music. He's got the FTW title. He has a t-shirt that says "I beat Hook" on it. And he said that when he told everybody he was going to win a world title, it was not the FTW title that he was talking about. He said that this title was created in a second-class company, and this led to Jerry Lynn coming out there. Now, I know who Jerry Lynn is, but I guess you're basically assuming, if you're Tony Khan and you're the people putting together this show, you just assume that everybody knows who this guy is. Like, he's just waltzing out there. Oh, it's Jerry Lynn. And, you know, a random person that never watched ECW, that wasn't even born when ECW existed, if they're watching this, they're like, who is this guy? Who's this random old guy coming out here? So Jerry Lynn comes out there and the crowd chants ECW, and he said he's threatening, he's going to kick Perry's ass. He's threatening Perry. And Perry said that he'll face Jerry Lynn. I'm not sure if they're doing a match or not, but he said he'll see Jerry Lynn next week, which is the 200th episode of Dynamite. I mean, this is the best they can do for Jack Perry now. He's having feuds with old ECW guys from 2 decades ago. What's next? They're going to bring Rhino in to feud with Jack Perry over the FTW title. Like, Jack Perry should have gone out there and trashed that FTW title or smashed it or done something like that. Why is he still holding on to it? Like, I don't get that. And then we had a Britt Baker promo. She was very excited for her first time meeting with Taya Valkyrie, and she said how Taya will be swimming in the pool or ocean with the shark, and Britt's going to drag her straight to the deep end of this pool. We then had Pac versus Gravity. Get it? Because Gravity forgot Pac. That's the saying they've used all these years. Pac is the man that Gravity forgot. So they did Pac versus Gravity in a match. Like, did anybody think for a second that Gravity had any shot of winning this? And also, what's going on here with Pac? So he walks out on the Blackpool Combat Club, but he's still a heel. And the Blackpool Combat Club, they're still heels. Like, who am I supposed to cheer for here? Gravity did get in some offense, of course, because you have to make the guy who's losing look good. And Pac even took a little bit of a break on the outside of the ring. Blackpool Combat Club was watching backstage, and Pac hit the Avalanche Brainbuster, Brutalizer, got the submission win, and he kept it on after the match. So he's still a heel. He's still Pac. He's still a bastard. But, I mean, are we supposed to cheer him? Are we supposed to cheer the Blackpool Combat Club? Like, I don't know. I'm confused at this point. We had an interview with MJF and Adam Cole, but it was from last week, apparently. They had last week, although I did not see this interview from last week. So I think they interviewed them last week and aired it on this week's show. Like, why not have MJF and Cole out there in front of the live crowd? I don't get it. But yeah, they're interviewed backstage, and the best thing about this was MJF doing an impression of Dax Harwood. That was great. That was the funniest thing that I may have seen on any wrestling show over the past several weeks. And he also called Dax Harwood the love child of Mr. Clean and Yosemite Sam. And then we had a little interesting note here. MJF said, win, lose, or draw, he is going to give Adam Cole a rematch for the world title. And Cole was a little bit shocked about this, but of course, he wants the title match. But at the same time, he has enjoyed the friendship, and he considers MJF to be one of his best friends. We had Roderick Strong show up, and things got heated. Cole was trying to calm things down. MJF walked off, and Cole told Strong that he needs to trust him. And Strong said that Cole is making a big mistake. I really hope we're getting some kind of swerve here next week, and not, MJF is in fact a bad guy and he was setting up Adam Cole all along. I hope that it's actually Adam Cole going heel with Roderick Strong, and maybe we get the Undisputed Elite reuniting. Maybe they bring back Bobby Fish, and maybe Kyle O'Reilly comes back from his injury, and we get them as a heel group, and MJF goes babyface. I'm really hoping that. I'm saying this on the record right now. I will be disappointed if it's just MJF turning against Adam Cole. And the fact that they keep hammering home this idea, oh yeah, you cannot trust MJF. Tony Schiavone keeps saying it. The guy's a jerk. Like, I want to be shocked. Whatever happens next week, I want to be surprised. I don't want it to be the obvious thing where it's just MJF was just being a jerk and Roderick Strong was right. I really hope there's some kind of swerve here, and not with Strong going with MJF and them being paired. Like, I don't want to see that. That's not the swerve I'm looking for. So yeah, we'll see what happens this Saturday on Collision. I mean, this is like the one thing that I'm looking forward to right now. There's really not much else that AEW has hyped up that I can say that I'm really looking forward to right now. D. Martin 5th with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, unlike Jesse Ventura, Mox always has time to bleed. I'm thinking Jesse Ventura was not Moxley's idol. I think Abdullah the Butcher was John Moxley's idol. If you watched Dark Side of the Ring, you're not familiar with Abdullah the Butcher, you can check that out. Abdullah was bleeding all the time, using forks on people, and I definitely think Moxley got a lot out of that and was very influenced by Abdullah the Butcher. Now, Building Nexus sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Says, what if Adam Cole wins the title by turning heel and joining Don Callis? Any scenario where Cole is the one that turns, I will be happy with. If it's with Callis, great. If it's Cole reuniting with Strong, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly as heels, cool. I like it. I just don't want to see MJF versus Cole with MJF as the heel and Cole as the babyface. Like I really think MJF needs to turn it at this point. People are not booing the guy. He can come out there, be the biggest jerk in the world, and people are still going to cheer him at this point. So that's just my take on it. We'll see what they do Saturday on Collision, and I will be recapping it, so make sure you guys tune in this Saturday night after Collision for the No DQ recap. All right, moving on here. We had the FTR backstage interview, which was very similar to their Collision promo, and I'm not even sure why this needed to air, because Dax Harwood basically said the same thing he said on Collision, that it's not going to be a dancing routine. It's not going to be a mockery of professional wrestling, damn it. He said there will be a fight, and he is going to beat the shit out of MJF. And again, Cash Wheeler saying that he respects Adam Cole but hates MJF. Like, everybody's just talking about how bad MJF is. And that's, I mean, it's got to be a setup, right? With Strong and Cole trying to set up MJF. And now MJF has verbally agreed to the match, and Cole can turn against him and beat the crap out of him and say, you committed to the match now and you're screwed. I really hope that's what they do, but we'll see. And shout out to good old JM Jeff Meacham. Make sure you follow the Jeff Meacham Network. He's going to be doing a live watch along of SummerSlam. It will be on the No DQ channel, so stay tuned for that. I'll be there in Detroit at Ford Field, and Jeff will be doing the live watch along. We had Swerve Strickland versus Darby Allin, which I think was the best match on the show. Code Red on the floor by Darby Allin sent Swerve into the steps, but then Swerve caught him with a kick and took the upper hand. After the commercial break, Darby ended up spearing Swerve to the floor. Darby went for a dive, but Swerve caught him with a kick again. And then Swerve did this DVD off the second rope all the way to the apron. Crowd chanted, holy shit. Darby got up and was on the verge of getting back in the ring when AR Fox showed up and launched him into the ring post. Not sure why AR Fox needed to interfere here when Swerve was doing all right, but he did. And then Swerve, it was pretty much elementary at this point, picked up the win 1-2-3 with the help of AR Fox. Not that he needed it in this case. And then afterwards, they continued the beatdown. Young Nick Wayne was out there, and he ended up being hit with the skateboard by AR Fox. We'll see what they can do with AR Fox. I mean, I don't have any emotional investment in him, but maybe this heel turn will work for him. We'll have to wait and see. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat, says, what if Don Callis reunites the Undisputed Elite? I would be fine with it, although it seems like Callis already has his own thing going on with Jericho and Takeshita. But yeah, I would be fine with it. Like, if Don Callis creates this super group, and it includes Adam Cole, and MJF is a good guy, or, you know, a tweener, whatever you want to call him, I will be happy with that. Why not? Don Callis gets great heel heat, so let's do it. Whatever they do that involves that, I'll be fine with. And yeah, Darby is crazy. Of course, he does the crazy stuff. But this was arguably the highlight of the show, easily the best match. And I guess they have history in Lucha Underground. I mean, I think I watched a couple episodes of that and quickly gave up on it. I liked the first season, and then after that, I kind of lost interest in it. So I don't know if AR Fox was there in the first season. I don't remember, but if he was, I do not recall him. We had the Jericho Appreciation Society meeting up backstage in the locker room, and the painting was put up. You had Ty Conti there, Ty Mello. She's pregnant, of course, and she was there for a little cameo appearance. You had 2.0. You had Anna Jay, and she said that she doesn't think that Chris Jericho appreciates them. And until he shows that, they cannot give him 100%. They walked out, and it looks like the end of the road for Jericho Appreciation Society. The question is, what are they all going to do without Jericho? They're going to be in a tough spot. But they're definitely teasing the breakup of the group. It's hard for me to care about it because they're heels. Jericho's a heel. Callis is a heel. Like, I just don't know who to root for. We had Britt Baker versus Taya Valkyrie, which was, you guessed it, 9:15 to 9:30 time slot. The huge. This was not a very good match at all. Like, I don't know what it was, but these two were just not on sync with each other. And they botched something right before the commercial break, the picture-in-picture. Taya dominated a good part of it. Britt eventually made her comeback. She went for the lockjaw. Taya countered with a spear and then went for the road to Valhalla, but Britt escaped it, picked up the win with the lockjaw, and that was it. I mean, no storyline build for anything. It was just a match, and Britt Baker won, and not a very good match at that. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, what are the chances Chris Jericho turns down Don Callis? I mean, it could happen because they're really teasing it now that Jericho's going to join him. And Jericho is a heel. I feel like it's kind of played out. If Jericho's going to stick around, I would not mind him turning face, especially if he's not going to give up Judas, because the crowd cheers for Judas. They sing it, and Jericho is a heel of that music at this stage of the game. Just doesn't make sense to me. We had our main event of the evening, which was the Best Friends. They got no entrance. Gives away what's going to happen here with them. Lucha Brothers, they got their entrance, and then Jon Moxley and Claudio got their entrance. Now the fight started, everybody started brawling before the BCC hit the ring. Everybody was brawling around ringside. They fought around the stage. Chuck Taylor jumped off the stage with a dive onto everyone. And then eventually everyone decided to follow the rules. It's like, okay, we did all this fighting. Now we're going to get in the ring and have a normal tag team match following the rules. Well, guess what? They did that for a couple minutes, and then things broke down again, and the referee was just standing there. Like, he wasn't even attempting to try and restore law and order. He's just like, whatever, you guys do what you're going to do. Blackpool Combat Club was on the verge of winning, and that's when Orange Cassidy came down to get revenge. He punched Wheeler Yuta, and then Trent tried to pin Claudio, but Claudio was not the legal man. I guess he was confused with all the chaos, not even knowing who was the legal man. How did the referee know when there's all this going on, who the legal man is? Penta then was the legal man, and he ended up pinning Trent with the Fear Factor. The fight continued after the match was over, and they did announce for episode 200, big match for 200, Moxley versus Trent and Penta. So they're doing a triple threat based off of this match that was the main event. Now, Trent got beat here. So why do I want to see him get beat again next week? I feel like they could have done a better job building up episode 200. They got the Jericho match with Takeshita. They're teaming up against Danny Garcia and Sammy Guevara, which is all right. But this is episode 200. They got to step it up, man. Like, if this is a milestone show, you got to have a big marquee match. And speaking of big marquee matches, guess how many matches they teased for All In? 0. Nothing. We're only a month away. Like, you got to start building up All In. Like, this is, I mean, I'm going to say it. This is their biggest show ever. Like, this is a show that can change the perception of AEW and put them to the next level. Like, you want to go balls to the walls. You want to go all in. You need to go all in with this card. Like, what are they waiting for? Like, are they just going to go with 3 weeks of build? Obviously, MJF and Adam Cole, that's going somewhere. And Mo Camera, it's not sold out. They still got plenty of tickets available for that. It's a huge crowd, but they can still fit like another 10,000 people in that stadium. But yeah, you would think that they would start building up to this and really have some strong build for this show. I mean, I'm thinking we're going to get Adam Cole versus MJF, but what else? And All Out, we do have the Darby Allin match. But yeah, they really didn't hype up anything else for All Out either. You got 2 pay-per-views next month. Well, month and a half for All Out. Early September. But yeah, these shows are coming up soon. You got to start building this up. Like, AEW seems to be in this pattern where they have a big show and then the week after it's just a filler episode. And this was very much it. And I dare to use the B word, but this was kind of a boring show. They didn't do much to build up anything in the future either. Just felt pretty flat. Lack of star power. Lack of interesting stories. Like, I don't know who I'm supposed to cheer for. The matches were fine, but nothing out of this world like last week. This was one of the weakest Dynamites. Like, I've never really called an episode of Dynamite bad, but I don't even think this was a good show. I think it was just okay. Thus, I'm going with a C. One of the weaker Dynamite episodes. I mean, probably top 10% or bottom 10% of Dynamite episodes. Very forgettable, easily skippable. Next week's 200, and like, I don't really care that much that it's the 200th episode. Like, I should be pumped. I should be like, holy cow, next week is episode 200. This is going to be one of the biggest shows of all time. Just doesn't feel that way. And All In, like, you know it's going to be a spectacle, but you got to start building up for that. And, you don't have a lot of time here. We'll see what happens on Collision. Yeah. Kind of a disappointment. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe not everybody enjoyed it. If you were looking for me to praise AEW for 20 minutes, did not happen this week. Jeff Meacham said they're doing a watch along of Dynamite 200, so check that out over at the Jeff Meacham Network. Enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. I got some Fight Forever related content coming up on the No DQ channel. Check out the top 5 videos I just posted over the past week. And then on Friday, I will be back after SmackDown with a recap of that show. Take care, everybody. Stay safe out there. And remember, say yes to NoDQ.com.